This European cricket event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software, Rado, 1xBet and Victorinox.
And he can't. In fact, that's going to be 4 runs. That's a lovely shot from Karanesa.
Because I was commentating on the ECL during my sleep, and that's a brilliant 5 for Mehboob Ali as he comes back in. And less about sleep commentating, we can talk about live commentating. That was another brilliant delivery from Lala, and he goes double Hall of Fame, hat-trick, 5, and
You know,
tell you what, 1 run so far.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say here? I mean, first of all, that is a great delivery.
Get them out quickly and then try to get those runs in 7 overs. It's always tough, as that's going to be another wicket, a big swing from Eldo's Paul, and he takes a little walk to the leg side, realises he's gone in the wrong direction, and he starts the slow walk off as Gurjeet Singh does get into the wickets. The birds are fluttering around, and they might be fluttering to mark the end of the MMA Titans title charge, as that is the 7th wicket to fall, not even halfway through yet, and they're 29 for 7. In terms of remakes, I'm not too sure as this one goes out to the deep, and oh, it should have been taken there by Aaron Ramasan, who's just had the ball in hand with the bowling, but this time he comes flying in off the boundary. He would have been better served just standing where he was, and by the time it comes in, I think it flicks his floppy on the way past. He's lucky it doesn't go all the way for 6, but the damage was still done instead of a wicket.
I think the other one that, okay, that's high. And I think he's going all the way. It will. Bolle, kinna zona. Well, Abdul Qadir Nassar liking his contribution here. He's, despite all the wickets that have tumbled around him, he's still prepared to go after the ball and play his shots. And he gets that one nicely away as well. Takes him to 20. And I've obviously seen the remake of that. That wasn't bad, I have to say. That is not bad either. Well, the Archers thankfully have disappeared for the day just as well, because I think this one is going in their direction.
Into the range, and this one, well, the treatment has been delivered again, and this time, well, it's getting closer and closer to the bullseye.
Well,
certainly rolling into frame there.
I like this. I mean, all of those targets are lined up. They're lined up for something. Well, the Archers have had a go.
And he goes again. This one's high and it's straight, and it's going to have the legs on it, despite the attempts there of Ashok Bishnoi to line it up. The only one lining it up here is Abdul Qadir Nassar, who's shown flashes of this in the previous games, but he's got a bit more time now to really get into his work, especially with no one else taking on the responsibility. He certainly is.
I was going to say, where's Jaswinder? Jaswinder, of course, didn't get a hat-trick, but he did get 5 wickets. That's going to be 4 runs, 4 more in the over.
Even a win is more than enough, but they certainly want to get double bonus points. And well, this one's high up in the air. Mahboob's underneath it, but he can only watch it sail over his head. And this over has gone for 28 runs, and Abdul Qadir Nassar has raced on to 49. That's the end of the 8th as well.
And Kedar, he wants to go for it, and he will get there. Well done, well batted. Everybody stand and applaud. It's not often that a team is in dire straits and then a batter from nowhere comes up and puts 50 on the board. Well batted, ball badaya, Abdul Qadir Nassar nu apni half century puri kalli. As he goes in that direction again, and he clears the fielder again. 6 more. Leave it be, and I know that that's going to be out. It does the right thing. But this is, I mean, you touched on it. This is something that the Titans can learn from. Didn't have to take that single at the end of the over, because then they have to risk this dodgy run, which there never was going to be on. I mean, he goes straight away. I mean, he couldn't have run any quicker, actually. Fair play.
Well, he does manage to get back on strike, unless this one will go through Mahboob, which it absolutely does. And, well, you saw that one coming, didn't you,
yeah.
Rico? He was going to the ball as if he had other things on his mind. Maybe he's got batting on his mind. He certainly wasn't interesting.
And Bobby still ends up at the non-striker's end. And now Mahboob, can he take the catch? Yeah, he can. And that is going to be the end of Krishnan. He gets gifted a 4 from Mahboob Ali. And then Mahboob says, if you think I'm going to give you a 6 as well, forget it. Holds on to the catch. Krishnan will go. And Arun Ramesan picks up a wicket, which I feel he deserved. He's bowled well, has Arun. And
can he see off the final delivery of the innings?
well, DJ's getting a bit funky as well, isn't he? The music's getting picked up. I tell you, it's all happening at the moment.
And, well, they're going to get the opposition out on the final ball as they go for a suicidal run. And Ben Hur falls on his sword as they do get bowled out on the final ball. And they pick up the single, so it will be 88 all out. So 22 more than the power hitters managed in the previous game. Well, a tough task has been made even tougher for MMA Titans as Swiki United will start the innings with 5 penalty runs.
And he just flat bats this through the covers for 4 runs. He's on a high. And Mahboob is going to get this one away as well. It's going to be 6 more runs for him, so 4 and 6. He's starting to look pretty slick here, as these ones have been played away. So really good over there from Nassar.
Earlier series in the year as he smacks that one bounce 4, comes to greet us in front of the commentary cage here. Mahboob is probably the one batter for Swiki who hasn't quite found his rhythm yet, so maybe this is the opportunity for him. He got dropped early on with the bat as he just pivots on that one, and that one is given the treatment, slightly too short, by Ben-Hur Joy, and someone with the power of Mehboob Ali doesn't even really need to extend his arms. He just short arm jabs that one over the rope for 6.
Yeah, this is why he's such a dangerous player in the power play. You know, you can only have 2 guys back, and where do you put them? Normally you would go with a mid-wicket. And Mehboob, he's loving his time out there. He gets given a chance, and it's not that often that good players get a chance. I wouldn't be sitting that way. I know you got the net there to help you, but I'd always be keeping an eye on this side of the fence.
That's well bowled, and there's calls of catch it, but with the power of Mehboob Ali, he can even mistime it for 6. This time he goes down the ground, and that's almost going to end up in the car wash. It's going to clatter just into the net right beside us.
With some brutal force as well.
This time he uses a bit of footwork, which we don't often see from Mehboob. He's usually just a stand and deliver kind of guy. This one goes high in the air, and tennis players take cover as that one goes in the direction of the courts. It's an ace from Mehboob Ali, and it's an ace half century as he moves to 50 not out. Just 15 deliveries, and at the end of the power play, Sweeky moved to 56 for no loss. So just 33 runs needed now for the victory. Their place in finals day is actually already confirmed, so it's a bit academic now, but certainly for Mehboob, he wants to get a few more runs to his name.
He's been pretty economic in his bowling spell so far. Oh, there's a little edge on this, you know. Inside edge, it's probably going to trickle for 4.
Well, that's one that should be an 18+ delivery, as Evan Bobby just serves one up. Mehboob Ali says thank you very much. 6 runs to the collection.
75 years later, that's going to be 4 more. He's turning on the star now, and you're right. Even he's starting to show his footwork here, Mehboob Ali. Look at this. Bit of footwork, gets into position, and just clubs it away for 4 more. But then they won the next 2. Another chance maybe, it's in the air. And it's very well taken. Good catch, well done. Well, he probably comes down and bumps his head a little bit as well, does the fielder. I hope he's all right. Comes down and gives it a bit of a clobber. I think that's Chaco, is it? Yeah, Chaco Martin. And a little bit from Chaco, but he holds on to it. That will be the end of the big man. Mehboob Ali will go for 65 of 19, but Sweehy will be happy. He's finally scored some runs. Yeah, he really does bang his head hard, and that's why he's taken a bit of time to get up. Good catch held, and it's Yadu Krishnan who will pick up a wicket. Mehboob, well, they're smiling, they're happy because he scored some runs, and also, don't forget, in the same match,
well, he was ticking along, and he will find the boundary for the first time. The boundary hitting duties were very firmly.
Hassel holding on to a victory. Another chance, and another one taken. Well done, well held. It's another wicket as Rami-san, after getting a boundary, fancied going over the top for 6, but he's not going to be able to do so. And Krishnan picks up another wicket. Yeah, Hassel, 171 for 6, and Antwerp, they were right up with it at the halfway point, but in the end falling 141 for 9. So a win by 30 runs there by Hassel.
On finals day, Peacock Friday, of course. That's well bowled, and it's going to be a wicket actually, because it's just chipped in the air by Mohammed Ajmal, who was trying to just knock it down the ground and get a single. All he manages to do though is give away his wicket, as I don't know if it was maybe a bit of a slower ball here from Krishnan. Well, take a look. Yeah, maybe just a slight roll across the seam. It's a brilliant catch actually, as he made sure to appeal as well, because he wanted to be 100% certain that that wasn't a bump ball. It definitely wasn't, and Yadu Krishnan picks up his 3rd wicket. Can Yadu add himself to the Hall of Fame? Well, he probably can't, because Gurjeet Singh has said enough of this nonsense. I want to have my dinner, and he gets 6 of the 12 runs that are needed for Sweeky United, and this is
a very entertaining day. High up in the air, catching chance. Nessar under it and takes a catch. He's had a good game, hasn't he? He's scored a 50. He's first on the network. Bowled a brilliant first over with some real fire, and only went for a couple and now holds on to a catch as well. So it's a good player. First time I'm really seeing him here in Malta, and expect to see a lot more of him in the time to come.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he's shown it with bat and ball and in the field with that nice grab as Gurjeet Singh goes 6 and out.
It's not the best of delivery, just gets guided away, probably has enough to get to the boundary. That's going to be 4. And looks like they're going to get the win here, and right on cue are the fireworks as well, it would seem. That gets played away, and that will be it. It's going to be a victory as Mohammed Kasim will get 4 runs there. The job is done. SWU United will be here again tomorrow to play in finals day, and we'll be able to show you what that day is going to look like. So 4 teams out of the 10 will come back